In the past month, 700 Afghan families residing in this neighborhood have returned to Afghanistan. For Muhammad and his family, the time to leave has also come. He lives in fear of constant police raids, pursuits, and daily expulsions. Though he was born here, in the city where his grandparents found refuge in 1982, he is now being forced to pack his entire life and leave for a homeland that is foreign to him.
These are the things we've been packing for the past month, maybe a month and a half. The police could raid our house at any moment, so we're staying ready. The only thing left to sell is this house. I'm just waiting for that and for my shop to be sold. A few things are still here, so the kids can sleep here at night. Everything else is already packed. But the kids aren't ready to leave. None of us are.
Muhammad has 8 children, including his 6-year-old daughter Hina.
स्कूल मसाला दा सबक वालता हुआ है हुकूमत तुम शड़ी सही दा जोए तुम खपकेगा खा नूर
स्कूल में पढ़ने की चरान मेरा तो पढ़े नहीं सरा बेकोमा देरा खपकेगा तो सरा बेकोमा
Pakistan has decided not to renew the official documentation for 1.5 million Afghan refugees. Islamabad is not a party to the 1951 Refugee Convention, which prohibits the expulsion of a refugee if their life or freedom is threatened in their home country. Muhammad had to sell his shop in a hurry for barely a tenth of its market value. This morning, he has a meeting with the new owners.
मुबारक से दुकान खैर मुबारक माशाल्लाह मो को के खो اختیار का
किताब हम क्लियर को چې موږ چې نه دا راوړې نو ته زمنګ راوړې
دا ټوټل بیلونه دي دا
دا د کاتو راټول کړي دا د مالونو دغه حساب
इसमें तकरीबन जो है ना
In this bazaar, 90% of the shops are owned by Afghans. My brothers and I have 2 shops. We've already sold the first one and we're trying to sell the second one. The police come here often. Most of the time, they arrest men in the shops. That's why we are leaving like everyone else, because we're constantly harassed. Even when you are with a customer, the police come in and arrest people.
For several months, Islamabad has toughened its stance against Afghan refugees under the pretext of fighting terrorism. Authorities accuse the Pakistani Taliban of taking refuge across the border in Afghanistan to plan their attacks. Despite the risk of a police raid, Muhammad and his brother are trying to sell their shop.
The Pakistani government claims terrorism is on the rise and that Afghan refugees are to blame. But we are workers, shopkeepers, laborers. How can people who've built businesses be considered terrorists?
At home, Muhammad's daughter is getting ready to say goodbye to her classmates. Hina is in first grade at a private school in her neighborhood. Her older brother had to drop out of public school 2 years ago when the roundups against Afghan refugees began. In Afghanistan, Hina's education will soon come to an end. The Taliban forbid girls from studying beyond primary school. She's the only Afghan student in her class. Her Pakistani classmates are waiting to say goodbye.
دلته مې سکول ویلې که داسې ډاکټر رانه جوړه سوی وی افغانستان ته ځمه هلته رانه هلته ډاکټر نه سم جوړېدلی سکولونه ټول بند دي
In this park, just a few meters from foreign embassies, Hundreds of Afghan families have been living in a makeshift camp for the past 2 months, exposed to extreme temperatures, rain, disease, and praying eyes. Since the beginning of the year, police has been rounding up Afghans who fled the Taliban's return to power in 2021. Nearly 600,000 have crossed into Pakistan. In Islamabad, landlords are now prohibited from renting to Afghans without valid visas and risk hefty fines if they do. Some have evicted their tenants, others have reported them to authorities. Meher is 24. She lives in the park with her family.
سلام علیکم نان مانده؟ چند دانه چند میشه؟
If we go out of here, the police is going to arrest us and send us back to Afghanistan. We've set up everything in the park to survive. Outside traders come to sell us products so we can meet our basic needs. It's difficult to find everything, but we manage just enough to survive.
The refugees here include civil servants from the former Afghan regime, human rights activists, journalists, and members of minorities persecuted by the Taliban. Most have applied for asylum. Their greatest fear is being sent back to Afghanistan before receiving a response from foreign embassies. Police have warned them that expulsion is only a matter of time. For now, however, they are tolerated.
When the Taliban took control of Afghanistan, my father was serving in the former Afghan army. They arrested him while he was in hiding. They tortured him brutally and then they killed him. We fled to Pakistan because of this reason. But now, the life for Afghan refugees here has also become unbearable. We've been in this park for a month, and none of us has dared to leave during this time. We're scared. We can't go back to Afghanistan. If we do, we risk death. Afghanistan has become like a cemetery for us. But we're not safe here either. We could be arrested at any moment.
A trained dentist, Meher left her practice behind when she fled into exile. Each day she tends to the camp's sick in this small makeshift clinic.
شما یک دواس روشن دارم درست است که ما خودم آماده ساختیم چون میگیریم درست است دست چپ میگیرین با دوباره چشمتان طرف راست
Here in the camp, diseases and viral infections spread very quickly. We lack medicine. Afghan refugees can't go to the hospital because they risk being deported. So our only option is to make do with what we have.
At Muhammad's home, the truck is loaded. It's time to leave.
दरवाजे बंद कर ला कई नोट सर रखे नहीं सही था
Awal dapat.
दुआओं में याद रख बहुत दुख हो रहे
It's heartbreaking for me. It's too difficult.
बर्दाश्त से बाहर
Leaving this place,
जाना
leaving these people,
मिलना सब
leaving
बर्दाश्त से
everything.
बाहर हो। बहुत
It's unbearable.
अल्फाज नहीं
I have no more words.
खत्म हो चुके हैं
Kabul is only about 400 kilometers away, but for Muhammad, it's a one-way trip. Near the border, a long line of trucks carries Afghan families waiting to cross. Before entering Afghanistan, they must complete administrative formalities at this UNHCR center. Registration entitles them to a modest grant, about 50 euros per person, to help them start over. According to the United Nations, more than 800,000 Afghans have left Pakistan since the beginning of the year, including 93,000 who were expelled.
My children's future has been destroyed in Pakistan. Their biometric data has been taken, and the decision has been made we must leave. We can never come back. There we have nothing, no home, no possessions, no belongings, no point of reference. Everything I have built here over the past 38 years is gone. We will have to start all over again. My grandparents came here as refugees 40 years ago. and today we are going back as refugees.
In Islamabad, despite the uncertainty and the wait for an unlikely visa, residents of the camp have set up a makeshift school. Undocumented exiles like them are not allowed to attend formal education institutions in Pakistan. Here, 700 children and young women attend classes every day.
Here, we teach them how to use a computer. That way, they can at least continue their education online.
In Afghanistan, girls are no longer allowed to attend school beyond the 6th grade. They are barred from working, playing sports, or even traveling alone.
تونست به شکل ساده کامپیوتر تعریف کنه. من بگم مثلا کامپیوتر به خاطر کارهای روزمره همچنین استفاده میشه. خود کامپیوتر به معنی محاسبات ریاضی میشه چون به خاطر محاسبات ریاضی همچنین استفاده میشه.
In Afghanistan, women are confined to their homes, caring only for their children. But I don't want that future for myself. I want to become an innovator. We've been in Pakistan for a year. During that year, I knocked on the doors of several schools, but they no longer accept Afghans. I haven't been to school for 4 years, and I've forgotten everything I've learned.
Afghanistan is facing one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Since the Taliban's return to power, the economy has collapsed. Each week, thousands of Afghans returning from Iran and Pakistan add further strain on already fragile infrastructure. 11 kilometers from the center of Kabul, Muhammad and his family unloaded all their belongings onto this vacant lot.
پلاستیک سم هغه کوي دا ټول دلته سوری کړی ده دا هغه کوي دا وړې غوټې مخکې کړه پلاستیک ور مخکې.
Day and night, Muhammad keeps watch over his belongings. He has not been able to find a house for his family. With the recent influx of returnees, the housing market is now saturated. The Afghan state is overwhelmed, lacking resources to absorb the mass return of refugees. International aid has sharply declined and poverty has surged. Around 12.6 million people are now facing acute food insecurity.
I was living comfortably in my own house with all the conveniences. Now I'm here under the open sky with all my belongings falling apart. It's heartbreaking. We haven't received any help. I don't even know which door to knock on to find shelter. The economy is at its lowest point, and I'm going to have to do odd day jobs, earning barely €4 a day. Not enough to feed a family. If the situation doesn't improve, I'll have no choice but to send my children to Western countries, whether legally or not.
Muhammad's savings are running out. Like many others, he knows he cannot survive without help. Leaving now seems the only option, another chapter of an endless exile.